Welcome back to lesson 3.3. Today we're going to look a little bit deeper into comparing numbers. So yesterday we started to learn how to compare two different decimal numbers, how we start on the place value the furthest to the left and then work our way over to determine to the right to determine what a place value or what number is bigger. So let's look at this one. I'm going to start in front of the decimal. I see there's numbers in front of the decimal. So that's the digit I'm going to start with in the ones. I see that the blue number has a 2. The green number has a 0. So I don't have to look anywhere beyond that number to know which number is bigger. I know the 2 is bigger, so I put that alligator mouth eating the blue number because that one is bigger. We just start at one place value and only go to the right if we need to. All right, here's another one. Let's start in front of the decimal. I see a 0 and a 0. That means they're equal. So I move to the next decimal place. I see that there's a 3 in the blue number, 3 in the green number. That's equal. Move to the next decimal place. Now we're in the hundredths. I see there's 4 hundredths. There's 4 hundredths. Both the green and the blue number have 4 in the hundredths place. So I move to the next number. I move to the thousandths. Now I see that there's a 5 in the blue number in the thousandths. Only a 1 in the green number in the thousandths. So that tells me the blue number is bigger because 5 is bigger than 1. So we know that the greater than sign will eat that blue number. All right. So what we're going to look at today, though, is writing numbers in order. Okay. You're going to get a handful of numbers. We're going to work with 3 different decimal numbers, and we're going to write them from smallest to biggest. All right, so we're going to write these numbers from smallest to biggest, separating them by commas. Now I do the same thing. All right, I start all the way to the left, work my way right to determine which numbers are the biggest. Okay, so let's start looking at these numbers. I see in this first number I have a 0, a 0, and a 0. That doesn't help me. All right. Now I'm working smallest to biggest. So I'm looking for the smallest number here. All right. So the ones place didn't help me. They were all equal. So now I'm going to go to the next decimal place, which is the tenths. All right. I see this one has 4 tenths. This one has 0 tenths. This one has 1 tenths. None of those are equal. So I can finish this problem knowing that. As I look in the tenths, I have a 4, a 0, and a 1. All right, a 4, a 0, and a 1. So the smallest of that is a 0, meaning that 0.03 is my smallest number. 0.03. I'm going to write that number first, separate it by a comma. All right, cross that number out because I know that that is the smallest. Now, what is smaller between 0.4 and 0.12? Well, look at that tenths spot. I have a 4 in that top number, a 1 in that bottom number. That 1 is smaller than the 4, so I know that is the second smallest number. So I'm going to write that one next, 0.12. Cross that one out. I only have one number left, so I put a comma, 0.4. So I've written those 3 numbers. The smallest one is over here, that 0.03, and I got bigger as I moved, remembering to separate my numbers in my answer with commas. All right, let's try another one. All right, I'm going to write them from smallest to biggest again. All right, I'm going to start at that first place value, 0, 0, 0. Doesn't help me. Move to the tenths, the next place value, 0, 0, 0. Still doesn't help me. All right, move to the next place value, 0, 1, 0. Okay, this does help me. I have 2 that are the same and 1 that has a 1 in it. So I know already that this is my biggest number because it has a 1. The other 2 only have 0, so I know that's my biggest number. All right, so that's going to be all the way over to the right. I'm going to write that one in there, 0.015. I know that is the biggest number. I haven't determined the other 2 yet because they're still very small, all right, and they're still equal. So now I go to that next spot. I have a 7, I have a 2. The 2 is the smaller of the number, so I know that this number down here is the smallest, 0.002. I'm going to put a comma there, knowing that 0.007 is my middle number, and then that number that had the 1 in the hundredths place is my biggest number. So I have now put them in order from smallest to biggest. All right, let's work through one more. All right, this one, we're working smallest to biggest. I'm going to look here. I see a 2, a 0, and a 0, so that automatically tells me this is the biggest number. So I'm going to write it all the way to the right because I know that's my biggest number. I've already determined that. Now I got to just figure out who's bigger and who's smaller from my numbers remaining. All right, I go to the next digit, 0.6, 0.4. The 4 is smaller than the 6. So I know that 0.45 will come first because that is the smaller digit, the smaller number. Then I have 0.614 with 2.001 as the biggest number. So today you're going to get a couple of problems where you're looking at just 2 numbers and putting that greater than, less than. And then you're going to get a couple problems like this where you're going to get 3 numbers that you're going to have to write them in order from smallest to biggest. All right, you can do this. Good luck. Talk to you tomorrow.